guys, Broheen here from the Gamers Emporium channel, bringing you another new guide video for Rift, and this is 3.0 Physician. So, Physician is the rogue's version of, basically, it's kind of a mix between, I would say a mix between a cleric purifier and a mage chloromancer, to a sense, but we'll get into that later. But for the most part here, I just want to show off the new Physician. Well, not new, but this is a spec that I got off the forums. Seemed to be completely up to date, and it seems to work really well. I solo heal Glacial Maw, and I mean, if you check out my rogue's gear, I mean, it's all detailed, it's all crafted. So I haven't gotten a single piece of gear out of any of these dungeons yet on this character, even though I've ran probably I've maybe ran like 10 of them so far and just got really shitty on the drops, or I've given the drops away to a main that's a rogue. So but on that note, let's talk spec. So this is what the spec looks like. It's 61 Physician, 10 Saboteur, 5 Wrist Stalker. Fill up Physician all the way, all 61 points. Put the 10 points in Saboteur, 5 into Nimble Fingers, and 5 into Advanced Combat Training. And then for Rift Stalker, put the 5 in Unseen Fury. The Mastery's level 61 is Aggressive Defense, 62 is Watch Over, 63 is Unstoppable, 64 is Through the Ether, and 65 is Planar Variation. So now let's go take a look at our bar setup, and then we'll get into rotation. So as far as bar setup goes, the buffs we use is Simultaneous Treatment, Preventative Medication, Plane Bound Resilience, and then we buff the tank with Supportive Care. Now this spec is a little bit versatile, but mainly we're looking at tank healing here. So I will touch base a little bit with AoE healing, because it is necessary in some of these 3.0 dungeons to do a little bit of AoE mixed in with your tank healing, and it gets pretty rough with this spec, but it's pretty simple at the same time. So we'll start talking about that in just a moment. Like usual, I use Archaic Tablet, Renewing Seed, and Petrified Rune. So we'll go ahead and get buffed up already, just so that's out of the way. And it's supposed to be healing practice dummy, but it's not letting me put Supportive Care on the dummy, so I can't show you this, but that is definitely crucial for the shields or absorbs that get put on the tank when you overheal. So make sure Supportive Care is always on the tank, or your other person of interest, whoever it may be. So, alright, rest of the stuff on the bar, I break free. I have a couple macros that are, actually I have 5 oh shit macros basically with this spec. So that's a lot of utility, and that's a lot of, you know, be ready for anything, and it's a lot of being able to recover very easily with this spec. So I have those on my F and Shift F, and then 6, 7, and 8. And we'll go through the macros in a moment. I keep Alternative Treatment as toggled for your, when it's toggled on, that's your AoE. When it's off, your single target. You want to put Viral Infection on whatever enemy the tank is attacking, and any kind of heal you do also deals damage to the target that has Viral Infection on it. Keep a B-Res on the bar. We have another, basically an Uber Cleanse. You get Shadow Shift and Agility. Shadow Shift comes from the Rift Stalker tree. Then we have our Tank Spam, our Finisher, our Spot Heal, a AoE Cleanse, and a Group Heal Finisher. And then we also have a little utility of Adrenaline Shot to gain 50 energy back. Sometimes that comes in very handy. So, okay, now let's talk macros, and then we'll go into rotation. Okay, so these are my macros for Physician. So basically, the first one on bar number 1, or spot number 1 here, is my tank constant cooldown. It's Show Casual Treatment, Suppress Macrofailures, Cast Expectant Treatment, Cast Casual Treatment, Cast Urgent Care, Cast at Target, Medicinal Leeching, Cast Active Treatment. And I could be wrong, but I believe this is supposed to have an S in there. Target's Target. So this is your main spam. Never steer away from it unless you have the quick spot heal, which is on my spot number 3. Urgent Care, it's Show Urgent Care, Suppress Macrofailures, Cast at Mouse over UI, Urgent Care, Cast at Mouse over UI, active treatment. So this is good for if you're tank healing and then someone else decides to stand in red for a second and they get a tick of health off them. You can quick mouse over the UI and you can then heal them right on the spot with an instant. So, and these are also programmed into this macro in case you have to move, that you'll start healing the tank with instant cast abilities rather than casual treatment, which has a cast time. So, moving on to our finishers, it's show massive therapy, suppress macrofailures, cast at mouse over UI massive therapy, and mouse over UI maintenance therapy. The reason these have a mouse over UI in them is in case, again, you have another noob in your party and they decide to stand in something they shouldn't be standing in because they think it might be a DPS increase. Well, they were wrong, and now you need to heal them. So if it happens to be a big heal, you can always take either your finisher or whatever finisher or your spot heal, depending on how much they need to be kept up, and you can heal them accordingly. That's totally up to you. So now here's the Uber Cleanse macro. You can copy and paste that yet again. The B-Res macro, you guys all know how to make those. And then we have our 5. I have Big Heal. It's actually my oh crap macro, but I call it Big Heal. So, but it says casting my oh crap macro. This one is show emergency response, and emergency response is like the mage's essence surge. It restores health equal to 100% of the rogue's max health, and also puts a little absorb shield on, which is nice. My oh shit macro is biofeedback. This is your next strongest cooldown. This, well, aside from planar variation, but we'll get into that. Biofeedback, you can move. It reduces damage taken by 15%, and it heals a shitload over 5 seconds. Only a 1-minute cooldown. You can't ask for much better than that. Planar variation comes out of your mastery. This is a mouse over UI just because your planar variation is going to restore health to ally equal to 50% of the rogue's max health each second. So that's a huge increase in health and a huge recovery. Very situational. Use as you feel needed. 1-minute cooldown as well. You can also move while channeling that too. So it's basically like a second biofeedback, just not quite as good. So now we have our oh fuck macro, which is cast intensive care. Intensive care is kind of like symbiosis in the mage. Increases all the builders and finishers heals and absorbs by 50% for 10 seconds. So that's definitely more than likely only going to be a tank thing, because you're mainly healing the tank, so you're going to want intensive care to be on the tank and increase those heals. It's going to be very hard to manage if you put it on anybody else in the raid. So the last one is our oh damn macro, which it says casting my oh damn macro. Life insurance. Life insurance is good because if you're anticipating a killing blow on the tank, let's say, you can buff the ally, it'll put an absorb shield on them, and in the next 10 seconds, if they do receive a killing blow, it restores 50% of their health, which gives you a decent amount of time to try and recover and pick that tank back up to full health and keep them going so you don't basically face roll. So, but that's all the macros. I don't think I missed any of them. Now we'll go ahead and get into rotation, which is very, very easy. So now we want to make sure we're all buffed up. So get your buffs up. Again, I can't put supportive care on the healing practice dummy, but basically what you want to do is you want to use casual treatment, your tank CCD macro, and when you have five combo points, again my UI looks a little bit different, but my combo points are right here. Use your finisher. And apparently my meter is not starting to count, so I can't give you an actual HPS of what I'm doing. But you can kind of see there's this little itty bitty smidge of, here I'll pull up my focus, this itty bitty smidge of shield there. Then if you have to run around, it's still going to cast your single target, urgent care, active treatment. It's going to cast it. It's also your number 3 in case you have to spot heal. Your cleanse, mass, detox. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you run out of energy, quick hit this adrenaline shot. That'll give you more energy. Other than that, this is very simple. So, and then for raid healing, all you would have to do is click on your alternative treatment, which is my shift 1 key, and then just heal like normal, except you kind of want to stay away from your finishers during this, because your finishers still only affect one person. If you're going to use a finisher, use group therapy, and that's why it's on the bar. So the casual treatment will heal everybody, and so will everything else if you have alternative treatment toggled on. So, but now you guys should be able to physician in a dungeon, and it's one of the most overpowered healing specs that I've ever worked with. So it should definitely be fun for you if you have the Nightmare Tide Souls. If you don't, please get them. Sorry, did I say Nightmare Tide Souls? I believe these came with the Storm Legion Souls. So my bad. So okay, well, thanks for watching, and have fun learning physician. It's the easiest healing spec by far that I've ever worked with, and it's probably the most powerful too. So thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have questions, and you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching.